Guys, I'm actually stupid. I forgot to press record. Hi guys, I'm back for the part 2 you all have been waiting for. So, some of you might be thinking, why is there even a part 2? This is the one part that's really unique to my study leave because I was back in school. This whole video is dedicated to school, so if you don't like school, stay. If you like school, also stay because there's no learning in this. It's all fun and games. Literally the best week I've ever had in my 9 years being in this school. What's special about this week is that on the last week of our study leave, we got to go back to school for fun with no learning. I mean, there is learning, but not academically, if you know what I mean. So this week is called University Transition Week. It's basically a week full of games as well as stuff you might want to know for university and skills you might want to have for university. And the school tries to cover a variety of activities to keep us entertained and still be with the year group. But obviously this week is optional, but I'm really happy that more than half the year group showed up. So it really felt like it was school but with absolute zero work. Oh, so anyway, enough rambling again. I'm just gonna go off where I left off in part 1. After that Friday, it was obviously the weekends, and I decided that I had to go back to my regular school sleep schedule because my school day starts at 8 to 4:30. So I have to wake up at 6:30 to catch the bus. And I've been waking up at like 8 to 9 in the past 3 weeks. So you know, 6 a.m. was definitely not in my book. I had to practice waking up, being in the zone like, hello, I'm waking up before the sun even rises. Nothing really special that I did in the weekend, except every time I go back to school, I get nervous, like real nervous. So on that Sunday, it took me slightly longer to fall asleep than usual because usually I sleep like this. Instant gone. On the Sunday before school started, I decided to spice things up a little bit and I got a lash lift. It is basically a chemical thing where they lift your lashes, set it with a chemical, and it stays for like 1 to 2 months. Monday. Woke up in the morning and I did not dab. Woke up in the morning and rise and shine. It was a Monday and I had to wake up at 6:30. Well, 6:30 is technically the latest time I have to wake up. But guess what? I had school photos on that Monday. So I woke up at 5:45 to do my makeup. So I did my makeup and I hopped on the school bus to school.
And I look hella good.
Because, you know, I got a lash lift, so my lashes were just like, I just looked bomb, even though my skin was kind of crusty. I still don't have the photo, so I don't know how I look like. Obviously, every school's timetable is different, so I'm gonna be using terms that not every single school uses. My blocks of lessons are called periods, and I have period 1 to 8, and after period 2, I have snack, and period 5 is lunch. I'm just gonna get that clear. So yeah, so we go to school and we go to our tutor bases. So I got to see everyone's lovely faces in my tutor group again, which is so sad to say it's like my final few times. Period 1, it was the head's speech as well as the curricular deputy head's speech. So they basically just talked about how proud they were of how we handled our A-levels this year. And then they left us for the rest of the period. So we ended up playing Gartic Phone with the entire year. Well, people who wanted to participate. So that was the start of the morning. And then we got given our timetables. The school didn't want to give us our timetables because they didn't want to deter people from not showing up to school because there are some stuff that majority would not like doing. Foreshadowing. The timetable unfortunately got leaked. Surprise who? I still showed up every day, so don't you worry. From period 2 to period 4, my group had a lovely company in Hong Kong called Hong Kong Stories who came. And basically what we did in that session was to recall a story that has happened before with a start, climax, resolution, like every story, and present it at the end. Everyone had to present it. The stories could be anything. It could be scary, traumatic, embarrassing. My story that I chose was the story of me stealing stickers in the classroom when I was in year 5. They say you're not supposed to lie about what happened, but I lied. What are you gonna do about it? I'm just gonna read out what I wrote for the story because I still have it in my notes on my iPad. I was a young, naive child who was obsessed with sparkly things. I still am. Sparkly things always made me happy as it reminded me of magic, something that I loved when I was a child. I was 9 and I've been eyeing the sheet of sparkly stickers above the drawer under my class teacher's desk. I was always jealous of the other students in the class who got these stickers for doing well in class. Clearly, that wasn't me. I fabricated this bit. I just wanted the stickers. Nobody freaking got those stickers. I just wanted more. I was a bad child, clearly. One day, I had the urge to take it. I always had the urge to take it. I told my friend this wonderful plan how we could get these stickers. I didn't. We both decided that we want the stickers. The plan was to go to the classroom after lunch and take these stickers because I knew my teacher was in duty in the temple. Temple is just somewhere in the school, just not near the classrooms. My friend agreed to help me out. After a delicious meal in the dining hall, my friend and I walked all the way up to the 6th floor where the classroom was. We then tiptoed our way into the classroom. I straight up just walked in, so all of this is a lie. I already had an excuse in my mind if anyone catches me. I left my water bottle in the classroom. Yeah, that was my excuse because I always carry a water bottle with me because I love water. Water is like my favorite drink. I made it into the dark classroom with no lights. My friend was helping me guard the door while I tried to quickly grab the pack of stickers which was shining through the darkness. I was so excited to have them. I stuck a few on my palm and was ready to leave, but when I turned right, I saw my teacher standing next to me and my friend. That did indeed happen. My heart was pounding. I did not plan for my teacher to even be in the classroom and the worst case, see me during the act. I did not plan for an excuse, and all my 9-year-old brain decided was to lie even more instead of telling the truth. Obviously, lying got me nowhere, and I dug myself into a deeper hole. He sternly looked at me and said, "Okay, please don't do this again." Actually, we stole the stickers and we were like, "Oh, we just found the stickers on the floor." And he believed us, but obviously we know he didn't. He just didn't bother doing anything about it. I shamelessly placed the stickers back into the pack and walked away from the classroom. Clearly didn't do that. As he was my class teacher, I had to see him every day until the end of the academic year, and ever since, I can't help to feel slightly guilty of what I've done. I feel guilty. I didn't feel guilty every day, so whoops, sorry, I guess this entire story is practically fabricated. But anyway, you know how snack is after period 2, so we had a break in between while we were brainstorming ideas. And then at snack, me and my girlies, we went to the cafe and got lovely, lovely food. I love the person that works in the cafe because I've known him for 9 years. And he's seen me grow in the school, and guess what? He gave me a free drink and a cookie. Thank you. I still appreciate the chocolate chip cookies as well as my iced chocolate with soy milk because that is what I get all the time in the cafe. And then we sat down at this new area where there's like a circular bench with umbrellas next to the AstroTurf. This was never here before when we were in school, so we decided to try it out, have a little picnic moment, and we were late to the next period because the line in the cafe was insanely long because
all these kids were there.
So at lunch, this was a bit special because obviously you're supposed to go to lunch, but instead it was our allocated time to take our school photos, which was our individual photo as well as our house photo. Traditionally in our school, when we were taking school photos, we're like sitting sideways like this and then smiling with a hat, like we're holding a hat. Actually, we're not holding it. The photographer holds it for you, so you don't have to hold it, but it looks like you're holding it. Another photo we had to take was house photos. So usually you'll be standing with your entire house in one photo. But you know, COVID. That's not happening. So we had to stand straight like this in front of a green screen. They just crop us into tiny people and just pretend it's a real thing. It always looks a bit weird because they make every girl like the same height because they don't know how tall you are. During the photo taking sesh, we were basically fooling around. We kept like trying to fix our hairs, fix their makeup. We were just having the time of our life because they usually put school photos in such an inconvenient time. But this time we didn't really have much to do, so it was fun.
Here is school photos. School photos.
You know my phone?
Potty.
Oh, I can't believe that's the last time I'm gonna do that ever again. But anyway, moving on. At period 6, we did budgeting, and it was one of the most boring things I've done in school because I've learned nothing. But thankfully, I got to skip half of it and the rest of the day because I had music rehearsals for my school song. But I missed art tiles, which I'm really upset about because everyone got to paint on a really small square canvas where they painted a memory that they have in my school. So for my rehearsals, what I basically did was just practice my song. I just kept singing it over and over and over and over again with my friend who was also performing, and we basically wasted like 1.5 hours. And then on the final hour, the teachers actually came and made us peer assess everyone who is also performing. So that was the end of day 1. Like every other day, I wake up at 6:30, go on the bus. First 2 periods, we did first aid training. I've never done first aid training in my life, so this was an experience. In this lesson, we basically got to learn a lot about how to do CPR, but obviously not proper CPR because we're not doing the actual course. Kind of learn how to do it like putting your hands like this and like pumping on the chest. Me doing CPR for the first time was embarrassing. It wasn't very good. And I'm just gonna show you clips of me doing CPR alongside with my friends.
Someone else. More time. Yeah, he's gonna die. He's dying!
No. Shock applied. Charging.
What do you want to?
Stay clear of the patient.
I'm scared.
Deliver
What do I do?
shock.
Go.
Healer shock delivered.
Hey.
Pause.
Pause.
Start CPR.
Go on, Lucas.
Lucas, go.
Why? He's alive.
No, Kaden.
He's dead.
And then for period 3 to 6, we had lectures from our teachers. I think we had roughly 8 lectures where one of them was about women in leadership. Another one was like types of leadership. One of them is my headmistress talking about her time with her husband in Egypt. And another one was a skit where 2 teachers decided to perform a skit of just letting us know what you have to do before uni. And that sums about 3 whole hours of our time in school. It's lunchtime. I have chamber choir. So this was my final time in chamber, and I decided to gift my closest friends in the choir, ranging from year 7s to year 12s, little gifts before I depart. And I wrote them little cards that the school provided us with, which is really weird because it has our face on it, and at the back is blank with your contacts. I miss them. I miss choir, I miss them, I miss everything. That day was honestly really emotional for me. Even though this choir was only made a year before, I've already formed a bond with these people and oh my god, I miss choir. We messed around before we went into the music room because there was a period of time where we were waiting for the teachers, so we took a lot of pictures, a lot of clips, basically messing around, and here you get to watch it.
Hey future Jasmine, we think you suck. You suck. Hi, how's life? Yeah, Jasmine. You suck. How is it? How's it in college? Boring, because you're boring. Woo! Bye, sucker. That's you. We hope you had a glow up. Wow. Yeah, bye. Highlight. Okay, bye. No, don't agree. Wow. White is leprechaun.
Not a lot of people were there, which was a shame. I illegally recorded the last half of this choir period. I might cry.
And then we'll hear it.
Down the street last Sunday, in my heel and kind of mean. Yes. They just turned on the wire street.
Farewell to those who are not going to be here next So, yeah, Jasmine, I know from my time here that you've made a really big commitment to this choir. You were in it when I joined, and you were in it for the very last rehearsal. Even though you meant to have left the school several weeks ago, because you've come back to second choir. And that it shows terrific commitment, and it's a commitment that you've shown throughout the time. So
You made us sing Memory from Cats.
the other thing you might not know is that do you remember this year where I didn't launch a school songwriting competition?
Oh, that's what
Remember that not happening?
Yeah, we don't miss that.
wrote a song anyway.
Jasmine said songwriter.
And she's sent it to me and said, here's a school song, can I put it in the competition? Well, it's won the competition, it's the only entry. We're going to be singing it on Speech Day, and it is a beautiful, Thank you, Jasmine, for the music. Do tune in because it's just a really, really lovely song. Yeah.
Why have any advice?
Advice for these, you.
I mean, just keep doing what you want to do in school is like all I can say because that's what I've been doing.
I've never liked you. Yeah, you we won't miss you. We will not miss you.
Wow, I love this for me. Moving on. Final 2 periods, because I already talked about period 6, we had the spelling bee. And basically, it's just whoever volunteers to the spelling bee with a group with 1 teacher and 3 students. I didn't volunteer to do it, but watching it was really, 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 really entertaining because watching teachers not spell is really funny, not gonna lie. But yeah, that lasted for 2 whole hours. It was getting boring, kind of repetitive, but I know it got nervous at times, and I think it was just funny when teachers and students are arguing for an answer and the student is right and the teacher is wrong, but then they change their answer to what the teacher says and actually the student was originally right. So it's just a lot of that. My friends competed and it was just really fun to watch them. And that was the end of my Tuesday. Wednesday, the halfway mark. I'm just gonna skip through the beginning and move to period 1. Period 1 to 2, we did some cooking because cooking is vital. Because obviously, if you don't know how to cook in uni, that's disastrous. So we did some cooking, right?
It's not even cooking.
So there was like 4 options. One of them was noodles with pork and sweet sauce, I think. The other one was making hummus. The one that I did was making rice paper wraps. Like, that is not cooking. And the last group, which was the most ridiculous one, counting as cooking, was making cupcakes. So me and my friend Jara, we chose the wraps. It was honestly the easiest thing I've done in my life. It wasn't even that yummy. But anyway, you can see us fooling around making these wraps alongside with the other groups. Beautiful meal. Meaty boys. Meaty boys.
Yes, I do the cooking. Yes, I do the cleaning. Can you shut up? Like other girls. She really is. She's built different.
Just like Haley.
Really gross spaghetti bolognese.
Dude, it's good. That's not bolognese. It's sweet and sour sauce, basically. It's just chili sauce.
At snack time after the cooking, my friends and I decided to fool around the sixth form zone where most of the year 13s were hanging out.
Go, homie. Go, go. Go, homie. Hey, future self. I just met you. This is crazy.
So period 3 and 4 was the staff and alumni panel, and it was really useful 2 hours, honestly, but a lot of them were mostly about stuff that wasn't relevant to me. I really wanted to know the sciencey people, but there was only one person that represented science there, so. Period 6 to 7 was the Wacky Olympics. It was basically the one that everyone dreaded and most people skived because it involves physical exertion, sports, exercising. Who wants to do that? Not me, at least, but I still showed up. So here's some clips from the Wacky Olympics, where I'm just suffering in pain. And then for period 8, we were allocated to go back to house again to be with our house for one of the final times. And my house decided to play a little quiz with the entire house. We merged into different groups with different year groups, and it was really fun. There was one quiz where it's like a teacher made, and it was guess the student. She was my history teacher, and the comment she wrote for me was, she only knows how to waffle through her history papers. I knew it was me immediately. After school, the Salties reunited again. I don't think I've introduced them, but the Salties are Kyan and Jara, and Jara and I traveled from school to the art studio. And what happened was that it was pouring. We were sheltering in school like, why is it raining so heavily? Luckily, I got my friend Haley's driver to drive us there, and we got really wet because the school doesn't allow private cars to go in the school. I know, ridiculous. So we had to walk out in the rain and like rush into the car. It was quite dramatic, honestly. When we finished off the pottery, because last time we only did the shape and this time we did all the colorings, which was really fun. We got to paint our little animal and it looks like Safi. But again, I needed a lot of help because I couldn't figure out how to draw the eyes as it should look. I really lost my art skills, didn't I? After the pottery sesh, we decided to grab dinner where the art studio was located. So the art studio was actually within a restaurant, which was really interesting, and we got to try out the Japanese food in the restaurant, and it was really, really, really yummy. Thursday was public speaking from period 1 to period 8. A whole day of public speaking. This is when I mean that the school didn't want to give out the timetable, but again, because it got leaked, 15 people showed up, including myself. Public speaking was with this company. I have no idea what company it was, but it was like an external speaker. It's so embarrassing that people didn't show up, but like, it is what it is, you know? At the start, we got to do some vocal exercises, which was really weird because it was like, why am I doing singing exercises? But they were just like, oh, it practices your throat muscles because you don't want to be shouting.
What about the minimum wage? How do you view that? I think they're being greedy. You know, people are out of jobs. And so the fact that they have a job, I think they should be thankful for it. You know, that I'm giving them jobs. Gosh, yes, how very generous of you.
The rest of the hours was basically planning our speeches. So we got divided into 4 groups and each group got a topic. Mine was, should same-sex adoption be legal? My input is that it is legal because what the frick? Our speech, thankfully, wasn't for and against. It was only for whatever your personal opinions are. I didn't end up doing my speech because at period 6, luckily, I had the chance to skive it because this year, I got a prize! For the first time, I've gotten the leadership prize. I know, thank you. Basically, we had to do a rehearsal because they wanted to make sure during our graduation we get it right. After period 6, I was supposed to go back to the public speaking, but I didn't. We went to the cafe to get food. So after we went to the cafe, we decided to hide. So where we decided to hide was the science department where they had an oval table and we just sat there because nobody ever goes there.
Oh my god, I'm so violent towards plants.
For the final period, we went to visit one of my teachers who shall not be named because I don't want to get her into trouble, but she allowed us to stay in her room when she had to go elsewhere and we just vibed with music and just skived public speaking. And it was Friday, the final day. So the first 2 periods we talked about well-being. We were with the psychologist of our school and we also did this quiz thingy and I'm gonna pull up my results here. It's like my top 5 traits. Period 3 to 4 we had a scavenger hunt, which is activities that were related to our school. It's just like going around the school and doing these things. It was a highlight for sure. My group, we named ourselves the 5 Amigas. We did a pretty solid job and unfortunately we didn't win, which is not okay because I think we deserve to win. But yeah, I'm just gonna show you what the categories were and show you the clips and photos of what we did.
Yo, it's Loa House in the house tonight. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
what you are. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You start, yo, girl. If you guys feel like a champion, ever since I spoke, you feel like I'm the star. I'm the star, is what I stroke you, the star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Change my mind. Come here, my love. Do you trust me? Close your eyes. Open your eyes. You're flying. I didn't know you'd be out here. Louder! Sound like how I'm shouting. Dad! I changed my mind. Do you trust me? Stop! Stop! One more line! Ready, set, go. Yes, we have a very fast camera in here. All eyes on the cameraman. Usain Bolt who? Go under. Yeah, roll. And say Kobe. Yeah. Three, two, one. Can't hear it.
In period 6, we had to do a bill rehearsal, and then finally we had a trivia. It was really fun because all the science questions and all the things about the school, like how many teachers are in the science department, I would know. School knowledge and science knowledge is my thing. We had a blast, but unfortunately we didn't win. Yeah, that sums up the end of my study leave. It was one of the most fun times I've had in school, but I guess this is the end of the video. There is a final part to the school series, and I'm gonna try to get that done as soon as possible. I would really appreciate it if you can like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye!